Well, you really had a lot going on up in Lansing this weekend,
Yes.
too.
Oh, yeah.
We had the DPS there and parents protesting. In addition, we had this, I have no idea why Michigan Department of Education would be involved in something like this right here. Yeah, but we got so much, and we're going to be listening to you because you're going to be hosting this morning on Joshua's Trail on a radio
Right.
station on the other dial this morning from 8 to 10. But here, we want to just go back again because we see you quoted in the Detroit News. And so we know that you're a stand-up guy. Absolutely, you're a stand-up guy. We know, matter of fact, that now liberals are going to put a bullseye on your back too. But
Yeah.
regardless if they put a bullseye, we're going to make sure people support you. Go to Senator Patrick Colbeck.com. Again, we're going to mention that at the end of the show. But just kind of give us a little bit of an idea of what y'all talked about.
Especially
I
about
don't know if they want
about
to
those
use the
third graders.
target emblem on me at all anymore.
They went away. I didn't hear you. What'd you say again?
But what's that?
What was that you said? I didn't hear it.
I don't know if they want to use the target emblem on me anymore.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got
Especially
you.
on this
Yeah.
subject.
Yes.
But the one good takeaway from this week, as you all know, the State Board of Education put out policy guidelines around LGBTQ guidelines for our schools. That was released out in February timeframe. They had open comment or public comments up till the last board meeting, which was around May 11th. They had a board meeting on May 10th. We were concerned that they might try to vote it out at that meeting. But here's the good news. We had over 13,000 public comments, overwhelmingly opposed to their policy guidelines. So if you're wondering what you can do, well, a lot of people did a lot. They actually put in their comments. Plus, we had, in a weekday, in the morning, we had over 300 people come out and testify against the policies.
Oh, wow.
There were
Awesome.
over 150 people that actually came and spoke. It was like, it went from 9 a.m. to something like 5:30 or 6 p.m. for the State Board of Ed meeting. People drove from as far away as the UP to come down and say, enough is enough.
Yeah.
Keep these guys out of our little girls' showers. Keep them out of our little girls' bathrooms, and get focused back on educating our kids.
Yeah, it says here half of the state's third graders aren't proficient in reading. That right there ought to scream that they're more worried about, we have to worry more about keeping somebody out of the restroom than making sure that
Or
they're...
what Patrick just said in
Yeah.
the article, you said social engineer. They're more concerned about
Yeah.
the social engineering than math, science, and reading.
Well, actually...
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're attacking all the foundations of American society. So they're doing it in the military. So the same policy they're pushing in the military. They're doing it in our schools. They're pushing, they're pushing God out of the public square. So they're
Yes.
trying to neuter the role of religion in our society. So everything that they're doing here, I mean, this fundamental transformation that Obama promised, I hate to say it, but he's been very successful at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's been successful at destroying what has been built over 2.5 centuries.
Yeah.
He's destroyed the fabric of this country. The question, what I would like...
Here's the good news. He hasn't completely destroyed it. I was just at a changing of command ceremony yesterday out in Troy for the military entrance processing station, and I saw it was a Marine Corps major. Shields handed it off to Major Serpian out in the Marine Corps, and the honor, tradition, integrity, the appreciation for God and family is still alive and well in many of us. We're just being relegated to the sidelines right now. Once we get in the game, this country's ours again.
Is the schools going to get control back over the charter schools? Isn't there a provision in there that says that they are going to be able to control the charter schools?
Oh, and charter schools are going to be subject to public school code. That's because charter schools they're actually, the other term for them is public school academies.
Yeah.
So the real difference between a charter school and a traditional public school is union versus non-union.
Right, exactly.
That's the fundamental difference.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to talk about that, but that's the truth of it.
Yeah. Okay, but isn't the union going to be able to exert some control over the charter schools now?
No. I mean,
Okay.
there's discussions around the DPS package that are debating whether or not Mayor Duggan and this and an oversight committee would actually be in charge of determining whether or not charter schools would close or not. That's the only thing that's been floated in that area that I'm aware of.
Okay, that's the concern, because the other thing is what's being done about raising those levels of the third graders.
Well, one thing is I've got a bill to repeal Common Core and replace it with the top standard in the country, which was that of the pre-Common Core Massachusetts standard. So, so getting rid of standards that ain't working, that are actually causing our kids to have that race to the bottom, not to the top. And we need to stop that experiment and repeal Common Core. That'll help out significantly, and we've got a bill on the Senate floor right now.
One final question: How many financial managers have the Detroit Public Schools had over the last 20 years? Do you have any information on that?
No.
Because every time I look around, there's another one in there.
More than one.
Well, Pat, it's really been good talking to you and getting this update from you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, thanks, guys. Keep
All
up
right.
the good fight.
You're welcome. We know you have to get ready for your morning this morning. All right, thank you very much.
Knock 'em alive, guys.
We will be listening to you, Pat.
All right. Okay. Well, Phil, another thing. This is from Detroit CBS Local News. 21 shot, 7 killed in a weekend in Detroit. Instead of all this social engineering, they have some serious problems in the city. A lot of your urban cities around the country have some serious problems.
And the way they seem to be that they're going to solve them is, I was listening to Theron last week, and he was saying that they're going to expand the Section 8 into areas of the affluent neighborhoods. And so
they're going to bring the ghetto to the suburbs?
Take the crime to the suburbs. That's what happened in Dallas. So, but, it shows you the shallowness in the thinking. See, what's going to happen is the people that have a property in Detroit, that are own property in Detroit, like a couple of my relatives, they have a couple of houses they rent out. They can't keep them rented because they can't get people to use their Section 8 money in their houses when they can go to the suburbs.
Yeah.
And that's going to increase because they're going to increase the money so they're eligible to go in the higher class neighborhoods. And don't think that they won't go. But guess what?
And guess what else they bring with them besides the crime? They're voting.
Yeah, the voting.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So it changed the complexion
well,
of that,
but you know what?
Complexity of that city.
The suburbs in Detroit have always voted Democrat anyway.
so we already know how they're going to vote. They're going to vote one way.
Yeah. But the thing is, they're draining the wealth out of Detroit.
Yes.
Because that money could have went to the people that have been doing what was supposed to be done in Detroit. Keeping a job, owning some property, and using it as an investment.
Yeah.
That investment is going to go back to the suburbs. So
you know what I wish they would do, get away from this in all your major urban cities. I wish they get away from this, that everyone need to go to college.
Yeah.
Phil, I was watching looking at some guys doing construction.
Yeah.
And construction, carpentry, pipe fitting, electrician, all these are all very, very good careers.
Yes.
And they need to go back. Some of these urban areas, they need to move away from that.
Yeah.
They have people going into college wasting their money. I'm talking about absolutely getting themselves indebted up into their ears with in student loans. And they could have went to school and learned a trade, learned carpentry, learned to be an electrician, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I know people that have been out of college for 10, 12 years. They're prime money earning areas, when they should be socking a lot of money away for their future. Instead of that, they're trying to pay off college loans.
Yeah.
And they're not really securing their future. They're making a little investment, but they could be buying property. They could be doing a lot of things I know people that are paying $1,000 a month for a college loan.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And the reason I say that is because if they want to rebuild the city, if they would teach these people a trade, it's plenty of work rebuilding the city.
And they could, you know what?
Rebuilding it.
If they use their head, you know, like in those areas of that are blighted, instead of tearing those houses down, they should form up some people to go in there and rehab those houses and
teach them a skill.
That's right.
And that's how they can bring their own community back up.
Yep.
All right, we have a minute left, and we're going to go to Gary from Roseville. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Del. Yeah, real quick. This whole thing with Obama and this gender thing and this, he's like dictator in chief. I can't believe he just thinks he can come down to a decree and
that's what it is.
It's crazy.
All hail Emperor Obama.
Yeah.
Never mind, he has no clothes.
That seems like that's what they're trying to set us up for. You know,
he is setting us up. Nobody can believe it. Nobody can believe it. I mean, I can't believe where we at right now. Gary, don't forget, and audience, don't forget to go to joshuastrail.org, joshuastrail.org. We hope to see you next week, Friday, May the 20th at Joshua's Trail Annual Banquet. See you next week, folks.
The Abolitionist Roundtable invites the Wham! Talk 1600 listeners to continue the roundtable discussions by mailing correspondence to Art of Michigan, Post Office Box 135, Garden City, Michigan 48135.
Or follow Phil, Del, and Janice at artofmichigan.com. You can also send emails to artofmichigan@hotmail.com. And most of all, continue to listen every Saturday and tell a friend.